Temos hoje o prazer de entrevistar o professor Eric Dunning, professor da Universidade de Leicester, Inglaterra. Eric é um importante nome na sociologia do esporte no mundo. Ele é autor de diversos livros e artigos sobre esporte e sociologia figuracional. Trabalhou com Norbert Elias, com quem publicou diversas pesquisas, como o conhecido livro No Brasil, A Busca da Excitação. Um dos seus mais importantes livros, infelizmente ainda não traduzido para o português, é Sport Matter, Sociological Studies of Sport, Violence and Civilization, de 1999. Essa é a sexta vez do professor Eric aqui no Brasil, sendo a sua quarta visita à Unicamp. Nós iremos hoje conversar com o professor Dunning sobre a presença das mulheres no esporte. Well, thank you for the interview. I would like you to tell us how does the theory of civilizing process help us to understand the presence of women in sport?
I think because it's one of the things that helps to explain why in the modern world, I mean, particularly in the 20th and the 21st centuries, that equality between men and women has increased. Absolutely central in this regard, I think, is that the men have stopped using physical violence towards women to the same extent as they did in previous centuries. Mm-hmm. So I think that what has happened is not in any simple sense a total abandonment of violence, although many men, such as myself, for example, I would not hit a woman, and I've never done so. I've been brought up not to do that from an early age, even though I was taught, as far as men were concerned, to fight and defend myself. Mm-hmm. Okay? So I think that is one aspect of the problem. But of course, one of the difficulties with civilizing processes is that things can get just pushed behind the scenes, but they continue to occur. So I'm not saying that there is no violence mm-hmm. from men towards women, but it has tended to go behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And why do you think it is so difficult still for women to reach professional levels in sport?
I think part of the answer must be that sport is fundamentally and remains a male preserve. Mm-hmm. Women are mainly wanted as spectators in that context rather than as fellow combatants. I think actually, certainly in Britain, mm-hmm. that a large number of women actually believe that sport is and should remain a male preserve. Mm-hmm. Women, I think, tend to be more concerned about clothing and appearance mm-hmm. than they do about participating in sport. A lot of them don't get the pleasure that one gets from being involved in a competitive activity which is peaceful. This is one of the ways I think one might describe modern sport. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's a total or satisfactory answer, but I think it's part of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And is there anything else you would like to tell us about this issue?
Well, I think probably to elaborate a bit on what I think has taken place, with the emergence of modern civilization, the civilizing process, as Norbert Elias calls it. I mean, the modern Western civilizing process, because of course there were loads and loads of different mm-hmm. civilizing processes that they all go on, and the whole issue is actually, as Norbert shows, very, very complex. It's not a simple idea, but I think that Norbert himself would agree with me in this connection, that a greater number of men and women in most modern societies identify with one another than used previously to be the case. Yeah? They identify with the other. They don't. I mean, for example, males nowadays reduce their sexual pleasure by using condoms. They're much more willing to do that than was the case in previous centuries.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.